Tonight on Texas News Channel, UT students and staff are concerned of the coronavirus outbreak.
A giant science experiment held on campus.
And UT Police and Austin Police are taking new measures to protect students.
You're watching Texas News Channel.
Your leader for live local UT coverage. Good evening and welcome to Texas News Channel for Monday, February 10th. I'm Ramirez.
And I'm Megan Fee. Thank you for joining us for our first newscast of the semester.
We begin tonight with the ongoing coronavirus outbreak. Nearly 2 weeks ago, UT labeled China as a high-risk destination due to thousands of confirmed cases of the coronavirus and suspended student travel to that area. TNC's Sandy Torres and Faith Osterberg show us what is being done to keep fellow Longhorns at home and abroad healthy.
The outbreak of this foreign virus is causing recent concerns among the Longhorn community.
University Health Services caught us up on the precautions implemented after the coronavirus outbreak. Dr. Hines, Chief Medical Officer, educated us on how to stay healthy.
We're encouraging students to continue to do the usual prevention methods for all respiratory illnesses, such as coughing into your elbow, washing your hands.
UT Health Services helps students stay informed on the disease, symptoms, and precautionary measures. In addition to the Longhorn community here on campus, there are also Longhorns abroad who are sharing these concerns.
The virus is a pretty big topic at the outbreak, and pretty drastic measures were taken by the government.
Texas Global uses assessments by authorities, including the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, to make informed decisions on whether to ban specific travel abroad.
Following the recent UT travel ban for studying abroad in China, we recently corresponded with Randy Pinson, who is the Director of Global Risk and Safety here at Texas Global. He expressed that they are monitoring the situation very closely and that they do foresee activities to resume in China in the future.
For Texas News Channel, this has been Faith Osterberg
And Sandy Torres.
Researchers here at UT are predicting the coronavirus will spread to other areas in China before being contained. The death toll in China has reached over 1,000 people, and there are 12 confirmed cases here in the U.S.
Last week, UT system officials announced plans to open a new medical school in Tyler to increase medical care in East Texas. The proposal will be added to the UT System Board of Regents' agenda and will vote at their meeting later this month. The potential addition will be the 7th medical school operated by UT.
UT alumna Bern Brown will be delivering the keynote address at this year's graduation ceremony. Brown graduated from UT Austin in 1995 with a bachelor in social work, and she is an acclaimed researcher in studying courage, vulnerability, empathy, and shame. Brown's also a guest lecturer at the McCombs School of Business. UT's 137th spring commencement will be on May 23rd.
The UT Tower was the spotlight of a mass science experiment this weekend, and it will be shown on national TV. The CBS morning show Mission Unstoppable visited the 40 acres on Saturday to take an experiment where 70 female STEM students joined Dr. Kate Bieberdorf in dumping hot water into buckets of liquid nitrogen to make thunderclouds. Dr. Bieberdorf, also known as Kate the Chemist, is a UT chemistry professor and author. Bieberdorf rose to fame for her exciting experiments and her strong advocacy for women and young girls to pursue STEM careers.
Another UT professor will be joining the National Academy of Engineering. Professor Robert Gilbert has been elected as one of the newest members of the organization. Election into this academy is one of the biggest achievements for engineers, which honors those who made the greatest contributions to engineering research. Within the past 10 years, 15 UT professors have been honored for their work by being elected into the academy.
A Georgetown man has given UT $1 million to establish an endowed chair for secular studies in the psychology department. The gift comes from Brian Bolton, a former professor who retired from the University of Arkansas back in 2002. Now, even though he has never stepped foot on UT's campus, Bolton says he knows that this institution is a great university, and that's all he needs to know.
Recently, there's been an increase in crime and violence in Austin, including a stabbing in downtown that involved 2 UT students. TNC's Alexa Sherry went out to talk to UTPD Chief David Carter and APD Police Officer Bino Cardenas to discuss the future safety procedures and how the departments will roll out in the near future.
Carter says at the end of 2019 and the beginning of this year, violent crime rose significantly and in turn has made the Austin Police Department's job harder.
We had a most recent incident that occurred downtown where a homeless woman wound up randomly stabbing several people, and two of which were UT students.
Carter explains the safety procedures that both UTPD and APD have already started as a result of elevated crime and violence against students.
We have, as much as we possibly can, we're patrolling those areas. You can see our bike teams out more so, and if you've seen them, that's good. But we're also pushing down to help APD in the entertainment district because we know we have a lot of students in that area.
APD's Bino Cadenas said APD will engage more with UTPD in the future. Because of an officer shortage, he says it will be helpful to work alongside UTPD.
I think if the Austin Police Department, the UTPD, strategizes and come together and create kind of like a partnership so we can more strategically patrol our areas, it's going to benefit tremendously.
Carter's message to students is that if you're going to go off campus, be aware of your surroundings and conscious about the possible dangers that could arise.
We encourage people to go remain in groups, travel in groups, avoid being intoxicated, have at least one sober friend to make sure that you get home safely.
Cadenas said it's better to be safe than sorry.
The most important thing is when we're out and about, just to be aware of things. Call 911.
Both police departments say they'll be continuously working to improve the safety of students and the community. Alexa Sherry, Texas News Channel.
Over the weekend, Chief Carter tweeted about a situation involving a group of female students who flagged down UTPD officers when they felt unsafe while downtown. Officers remained with the students until their rideshare arrived. Carter says it's important to always seek safety from police if you ever feel threatened or unsafe.
Coming up on Texas News Channel, one UT student makes it on national TV.
And we talk street safety with Longhorns. Stay tuned. An Austin man who was killed back in December after being hit by a CAP Metro bus has been identified. Police say 64-year-old Ricardo Ramirez Velasquez died after falling off a curb in East Austin, then being hit by an oncoming bus. Since many UT students walk along busy streets along the drag, we went out and asked if students ever find it dangerous crossing the street near campus.
I've lived here for like 12 years now. I've consistently seen it getting worse, but I would say it's bearable. It's not something that's going to mess up my day.
To me, the biggest problem is just people not paying attention. Like, being distracted with whatever means in their car. Most of the times I've almost gotten hit by cars just because people weren't looking. They didn't, look over their shoulder before they turned into the bike lane or something like that. So just people need to be more vigilant. That's all that really needs to change. But that's kind of a social problem more than a legal problem, in my opinion.
To prevent an accident near campus, UT Parking and Transportation Services urge students to avoid the curbs and be mindful of walking into the path of moving traffic.
UTPD will continue their enforcement of marijuana laws despite Austin City Hall's resolution to deprioritize possession charges. UTPD Sergeant Chris Vela said that those found with 2 ounces or less of marijuana can expect a Class B misdemeanor, resulting in 180 days in jail or up to $2,000 in fines. Coincidentally, after the City Hall resolution, UT has also been promoting a tobacco-free campus by sending emails hoping to improve the health of students and staff, emphasizing the harmful effects of tobacco. And for all you Longhorns that have the occasional munchies, a new marijuana-themed restaurant is coming to Austin.
Located next to the infamous Spider House, Chiba Hut is a toasted-themed sandwich shop stocked with a full bar offering cotton mouth cures and humorously named sandwiches after marijuana strains like Silver Haze. We asked some UT students what they think about this new shop opening up near campus.
I don't know if people are going to be like, hey, let's get sandwiches at this weed-themed shop versus let's just go to Jimmy John's,
Probably very new for Texas. I know probably other states like California and Colorado have restaurants like this, but I think it's maybe a good social step in the right direction, especially since Texas is super conservative when it comes to drugs and drug use. But I think it'd be good for just the general businesses and the outlook of marijuana as a whole in Texas.
Chiba Hut hopes to open its doors by April 20th, or most commonly known as 420.
2 student groups are working to modify university policy to accommodate students with children. The Graduate Student Assembly and Texas Horns for Life are pushing for change through legislation. The two groups are interested in increasing support available for students balancing their schoolwork with parenting. Currently, there is no university-wide parental leave policy, and individual colleges determine accommodations.
A UT student is among 15 college students who will compete on a special college edition of Jeopardy for the chance to win $100,000. We spoke to the sophomore Marshall Como to find out what his experience was like on the show.
We had a great time. I think the experience that sticks with me the most is just having makeup put on me and being put in front of a camera. I've never done either of those two things. And so just, when the lights turn off and they turn back on, this is Jeopardy! And then all of a sudden you're staring Alex Trebek in the face. Just a crazy experience.
Como's episode of College Jeopardy will air on April 6th.
With over 25,000 followers on the popular video app TikTok, UT sophomore Katrina Ramos has created a following for herself online. But internet popularity comes with a price. Our Rolando Hernandez explores the difficulties that come with stardom.
While most Longhorns are already worrying about classes, school life, and work, UT sophomore Katarina Ramos has one more thing on her mind: content creation.
I get creative block all the time, especially like this semester, just because I've been busy, and so my mind hasn't really been on the creative side as much.
With over 25,000 followers on TikTok, Ramos can have some difficulties maintaining her following, but that isn't her only concern.
I get a lot of mean comments, usually backhanded compliments. There's this one that I have that's super popular, and it's about me being the it girl in high school and then becoming introverted in college, and someone was like, well, some of us peak in college.
Ramos's worries don't just follow her online, but in person too.
I think it does get exhausting hearing oh, she's a TikTok girl, especially if I'm in a social situation. If I go out and my friend comes up to me and they're like, oh, I told them you do TikTok. It's well, I don't want to be at this party known as the girl that does TikTok. I just want to be me right now.
You can find Katarina on TikTok at SUSSVNFlower.
If you walked along 24th Street on your way to campus, you may have seen the new multicolored Longhorn mural above the doorway of the Castilian staircase. The owner of the Castilian housing facility, American Campus Communities, paid the Austin artist McLean Halal to paint the mural. Halal worked on the mural since last fall and marks her first year as a muralist.
So Marco, today's temperatures have really got me wondering if this cold weather is going to be staying.
The weather has definitely been up and down. It was 80 degrees one day last week, and then the next day it was literally snowing. But let's see if this cold weather might stick around. For that, let's go over to Alexa Sherry, who's at the Weather Center. Alexa?
Thanks, Marco. We've seen some cold weather lately. But is the freeze here to stay? Stay tuned to find out. Welcome back to Texas News Channel. Longhorns, you may want to grab your umbrellas because for the start of this week, we're looking at nothing but rain. Tonight, we'll see a 30% chance of thunderstorms. Those stormy skies will stick around through tomorrow morning with a 90% chance of precipitation. We'll have a high of 70 and a low of 56. It looks like those rainy skies will continue into Wednesday, but we'll get some rising temps, so your walk to class won't be quite so cold. Thursday brings sunshine with a high of 60 and a low of 35. Those sunny skies continue into Friday with a high of 60 and a low of 40. But enjoy that nice weather while it lasts because the sun won't stay for too long. The rain returns on Saturday with a high near 60 and a low of 55. And rounding out the week, on Sunday it will start to warm up again with a high near 75 and a low of 60. That's it for me, live from the Weather Center. I'm Alexa Sherry. We'll be right back with sports.
Welcome back to Texas News Channel. Joining me now from TSTV Sports is Thomas Finch. Welcome.
Good to be here for the first show of this semester, Marco. This weekend, the Texas Longhorns welcomed the Texas Tech Red Raiders in a game that had huge Big 12 implications. Here's Clark Dalton at the drum with more.
It was a 5-point loss for the Longhorns in their matchup against Texas Tech on Saturday. These 5 points highlighted the troubling trend of the Longhorns season. The bitter conclusion was a complete 180 from a promising start. In the first half, Texas could not have played any better. Andrew Jones picked up a 14-point performance that had Texas leading by 12.
Always been confident, even though we didn't make shots in Kansas. Confidence has never left. You know, I was fortunate to hit a couple of good looks that I was getting in the first half, and I just got to continue to be consistent.
Despite Jones' heroics, the Red Raiders started to whittle at the Texas lead. Slowly, Texas Tech's buckets spin the direction of the game. The small swipes started to crack Texas armor as the Longhorns lost the lead. It culminated in the final minute when they were unable to cut a 1-point deficit. These incremental gains ended up making a big difference. These small chunks snowballed out of Texas's hands, changing the tenor of the second half.
It's a gut punch for sure, but if I don't respond, then you can't expect our guys to respond. You know, they're very, very observant, and I think it's our staff's job, it's my job to show them who we're going to be and how we're going to be.
It was sink or swim for Texas, as they were one game below 500 in the Big 12. They hoped this game would be a springboard to improve tournament chances.
There's no faith loss. We know we can compete with any team, and we just have to finish games.
Texas needs fine-tuning, but they're running out of time. From Frank Irwin Center, Clark Dalton, TSTV Sports.
It was a career game for Miranda Ellis, the pitcher, who can also bat, who this season has batted .818. Also on the 40 acres, Texas Longhorns got some good news in football. Last Wednesday for National Signing Day, Texas football checks in with a recruiting class that ranks 9th nationally and #1 in the Big 12 Conference. Some notable pickups from this class include 5-star running back Bijan Robinson from Arizona and 4-star dual-threat quarterback Jaquinnon Jackson from Duncanville, Texas.
Well, I'm really interested in seeing what will happen in football next year.
Should be good, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Well, thanks so much, Thomas. We'll be right back with your entertainment news.
Welcome back to Texas News Channel. I'm Sandy Torres. Yesterday was a big night in Hollywood as movie makers gather at the 92nd Annual Academy Awards ceremony. South Korean film Parasite made history for being the first non-English movie to win Best Picture. Brad Pitt won his first Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But it was also a great night for two UT alums. Renee Zellweger won Best Actress for portraying Judy Garland in Judy, and producer Karen Tolliver took home the award for Best Animated Short Film for Hair Love. Seth Phillips, better known as Dude with a Sign by his Instagram followers, recently posted a photo with more than just a catchy slogan. Wait for it, Justin Bieber teamed up with Phillips to share a laugh and to promote his upcoming album. Phillips held a sign saying, "Justin, shave your mustache," while Bieber stood next to him with an identical sign that said, "No," followed by a promotion for his new album, Changes, which will be released on Valentine's Day. Just when you thought the Rise and Shine tune sung by Kylie Jenner last fall couldn't get more popular, on Saturday, her 2-year-old daughter Stormy was seen in a viral Instagram video. Take a look.
Hello. Hello. Sing something. Say. Hello. Say rise and shine. Rise and shine.
Wasn't that so cute? That's it for me. I'm Sandy Torres. Now back to you.
Sandy, and as always, we thank you for tuning in.
You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Texas News TSTV.
If you have a news tip, you can reach us on all of our social media sites or email us at news@texasstudenttv.com.
You can catch Good Morning Texas Wednesdays at 7 a.m. and Tower Talks Wednesdays at 6 p.m. I'm Megan Fee.
And I'm Mark Ramirez from all of us here at TNC. Good night, and we'll see you back here next week.